You are tuned into Sakhisizwe, Building the Nation, Bodinasi. And right now we will be going into our first interview for today. So do engage with us, 061-862-1065. So as we are going to be touching on a topic that affects everyone in South Africa, that is taxes and also the tax returns and how everything works. And you know, a lot of people tend to stress when it comes to, especially when it comes to the financial year, which basically was this year.
Oh yeah, today was my first year ever having to file taxes. Yeah, it was interesting.
So you will be also learning a little bit more from
Definitely.
Our interviewee, which is Russel Mamabolo, who is the communications and outreach professional at the Tax Ombudsman's Office with many years of experience. So good afternoon, Russel. How are you today?
Hi, good afternoon, Jasmine. I'm well and yourself, and thanks very much for the opportunity to share the information about the services that we offer as the Tax Ombud.
And it's only a pleasure to be speaking to you to also get some clarity and also guidelines on how individuals can, or what they can actually do when they are filing their taxes, and to make it a little bit more less stressful. So for many people, tax season can be very stressful, and as you basically heard by my co-host Nadia, she actually did that today.
First-hand experience.
So yes. Stress level is up here, so we need you, Russel, to bring it a little bit down. So can you basically break down the basic steps of the South African tax process for our listeners?
Yes, I think the most important thing to do is, one needs to be attentive and take note of the communication that the South African Revenue Services, that is SARS, will be communicating to you as a taxpayer. They will announce a date when you are supposed to start filing your tax returns. And from our side, as the Office of the Tax Ombud, we are also, make a calling to say, please adhere to that particular date. Because normally what happens is that SARS will announce, say, from July, on a particular date, but people, taxpayers will wait up until the end around October. And that's where, they want to do e-filing and so on. And the system will be clogged and you might be delayed because, definitely if you find yourself, after, want to file, later on, obviously you'll face penalties. And that's not what we want people to know. So we are communicating this as well from our side in advance, because we do not want people, taxpayers or people coming to our offices to say, please help us here, we have this penalty and so on. Make sure as well that, your documents are in order. The most problematic document that we have seen are a challenge to many taxpayers is that, they do not get their IRP5s, statements from their work environment on time, and they get this information later, and which may also affect the process of you being able to file your return. Also, the information pertaining to your medical aid, your retirement annuity certificates, those are the most important documents that taxpayers must always have on time, so that when you start doing your e-filing, if you are doing it on your own, on the SARS system, then it becomes even much better. Then you must be readily have that information. But if somebody is assisting you, like a tax practitioner and so on, brief them properly, because at times you might find that you are in a difficulty because you have paid your medical expenses on cash. And when SARS is doing that automatic, assessment, because remember, SARS gets all the information, they have all the information through all these financial, sectors and so on. So they can do automatic as well. automatic e-filing. So you must be able to confirm. But if you have made cash advances to your medical expenses, you should be able to amend and rectify that so that you provide evidence. So those receipts and so on, they are quite important. So briefly, those are the documents. However, there are even more, issues. One needs to get yourself ready, do your own calculation if you can, and make sure you understand exactly what is it that you should be, submitting.
And Russel, just some clarity, who falls under the threshold to actually file tax returns? Like you've mentioned, if you get all your documentation from your work, how much more less do you need to earn in order to file towards SARS?
Yeah, I think that detail is available, on the SARS website. I don't want to talk on their behalf, but that information in terms of, the threshold of anybody, as long as you are paying your monthly tax and it is deducted, automatically it becomes, you become liable for you to be able to, submit, your filing. I don't have it handy here. I would have loved to confirm it to you. However, I will send maybe an email afterwards. I will request my colleagues from SARS side, to assist you as well. So we are interested in creating this awareness and for you to have an interest in making sure that you go into those details and be able to know. The SARS website is available, and it's it gives all those nitty-gritties in detail. It's www.sars.co.za, so it can give you more information, as I've just indicated.
Awesome stuff.
Can you give some examples of some common types of income that South Africans need to declare on their tax returns?
Sorry, if you can repeat that, I didn't get that.
Of course. Can you give some examples of some of the common types of income that South Africans need to declare on their tax returns?
Yeah. Normally, as long as you are a registered taxpayer, you must declare. Remember, tax works like this. Throughout the financial period, for an example, at this stage, you will be declaring from 1st April up until the end of March this year. 1st April of 2023 up until end of March 2024. So each and every month there is those income that the SARS is taking from you as part of your tax that you are paying. So the IRP5 will actually confirm those amounts that you have been paying throughout up until the end of March. However, if the IRP5 differs from the amount that you have, SARS has collected, then that will either give you a difference in terms of, either you have paid less tax or you have paid more. If you have paid more, that's where, a confirmation will be made. SARS will be making this confirmation on their part to say, look, you now qualify for a tax refund or a tax refund. If you have paid less, then means you owe SARS money, and that's where they'll be indicating to you the amount that you owe, and you will be expected, to settle that particular amount. So basically, that's my understanding in terms of, that process, and it can also be justified by you confirming those details, and the SARS website gives even much better information in terms of that information.
And you still tune into Sakhisizwe Building the Nation Podinasi. We are speaking to Russel Mamabolo, the Communications and Outreach Professional at the Tax Ombudsman's Office. So Russel, also, where or what are some of the most common mistakes people make when they are doing or filing their tax returns, and also taking in account whether it's a small business or a startup around this?
Yeah, a lot of people, are actually a bit fearful, for SARS, Jasmine. So ideally, we are saying, please do not ignore, the communication that comes from SARS. However, they might be saying things there that you don't understand. Like, for example, they will say that you have an outstanding amount, and then all of a sudden, when you see the figure, you just want to get into all that level of stress and so on. However, remember, we are championing taxpayers' rights as well, because even if you owe so much tax, outstanding amount, towards SARS, you are in a better position as well, to approach SARS and say, look, I do not have this money. However, this is what I have, or this is my financial situation. I have a proposal that I would like to make, to try and settle this amount in this way. You will make a proposal to them. So you are within your own right as a taxpayer to make such a proposal, and SARS can consider it. However, we see quite a number of mistakes that taxpayers are making as well from their side. Is that first, they ignore the communication that comes from SARS. They do late submissions, which obviously result into serious penalties. And also, if you have a debt with SARS, please make sure that you attend to it as I've proposed or as I've articulated, in the earlier discussion. But also, that debt, if you leave it, it will incur even more, interest, and you might be, you find yourself in a very difficult position to settle that amount. So the most important thing is that, please, communication with SARS, act immediately and attend to them. Go to their offices so that they are able to, assist you. And at times, if people, taxpayers have reported a dispute with SARS, say, for example, they've indicated no, they do not agree with this assessment that SARS has made. And by the way, it's also your right. You are entitled to dispute whatever, feedback that you receive to SARS. If you have, supporting documents to do that, they'll give you a time frame, and it's just that in many instances, when SARS have given you a time frame to deal or look into that particular dispute, you find that the taxpayer interfere in the process, which may elongate. Remember, SARS is working on a system that has a clear time schedule on, looking at that particular, information. The other mistake that we see, SARS requests supporting documents from taxpayers to support their statements, and especially from us as well, the Office of the Tax Ombud. We also do that. But you find that taxpayers are not bringing that information, forward. And also, this may delay, the finalization of, your case or your investigation or, the assessment that the SARS is making. And in our case, it will delay, for us to be able to resolve the complaint that you have laid against SARS with our office. So those are the typical complaints that we see from our side, and we are encouraging, taxpayers again to say, please, if there is any communication that comes from SARS, act on it and do not leave it, towards the latest time where you'll be having all other challenges, for you to be able to finalize the process.
So, with the rise of the gig economy and, having more freelancers and independent contractors involved in the tax process, how does tax filing work differently for these people?
Yeah, there are a number of people that are accredited, tax practitioners as well as accountants that are registered with, with SARS, and they are also, monitored by their own, what we refer to, recognized controlling bodies, such as SAIPA, SAICA, and SAID. Those are the tax, bodies that are there, that are regulating, and that are also, engaging and looking into the behavior of the tax practitioners that are assisting you as a taxpayer with your, tax matters and so on. So in this particular case, those people are obliged, and many people are not aware because you share, your crucial information such as the e-filing pins and and so on, passwords and so on. So make sure that you use credible people that are registered, so that you avoid a situation where there is some some mistakes that are done on your profile, because if those people can do wrong things on your profile, then the onus is on you, because each and every taxpayer, you are responsible for all your own tax affairs. If SARS comes to you, they will not go directly to the people unless you have reported them, and if you have reported them, they can act on it. And even if you report them to us as well, we are able to assist in that process. So it's a very delicate, situation that we are dealing with, and the tax matters are serious matters that one needs to make sure that you keep tabs. If you don't understand, what is taking place between all your tax matters and so on, please give us a call. We should be able to guide you through the process, or you can even approach the SARS offices. They will be in a better position as well to assist you with the challenges that you might be experiencing.
Russel, and as we're about to run out of time, and there's so much more we want to know when it comes to your tax returns and filing your tax, as you are the officer for the communication and outreach program, and SARS being the middleman, which the public basically liaise with. So as the communication and outreach person that works at the Ombudsman's office, like, when is it that you actually intervene? And if you can also share some clarity with the tax scams that is basically on a rise, like, how can South Africans also protect themselves and ensure they're dealing with a legitimate representation person from SARS?
Yeah, I think what you are raising is very important. If you are not sure of the person who's assisting you is a registered taxpayer, raise the matter. You can raise it with us, or you can raise it with SARS. SARS will be able to confirm to you to say, yes, the person that you are dealing with is a legitimate person. If they suspect anything, they'll obviously also alert you in that regard. Now, our responsibility as the Office of the Tax Ombud, we have been established. We are 10 years in the being assisting taxpayers, or championing taxpayers' rights for the past 10 years, and we offer a free service to taxpayers who have tax complaints against SARS. So if you experience any challenges with SARS, you are not happy, you have been knocking on their doors and they are not helping you at all with the problem, because it may happen that you find that the service that you get, at the call center or at branch, offices there, they are unhelpful, unprofessional, or rude people, and not giving you the requested information as you would like to have. You have this stress, and you also get another stress. So we can intervene in that process and be able to help you. And we also deal with administrative issues. For an example, if the assessment that you have received feedback from SARS, but you are not happy with that assessment, and the information that is there, it is not what you are expecting to get. But if you go back to SARS and they are not assisting you, we are able to help you. And also, for an example, maybe just another one, procedural matters. Do you know that SARS has the power to go into, if you owe SARS, SARS has the power to go into, your bank account, to your banking institution, and go into your bank account and retrieve what you were supposed, to be able to, pay them. And you find that they can do that, but for them to be able to do that, they must be able to communicate to you properly, meaning they must give you a letter notifying you how much you owe them, or a notice through, the systems, e-filing and so on. And also, they must also give you another notification where they say, look, we are now going to act against you, or something like that. So there must be a communication that must happen between you and SARS. If SARS go to your bank account, take the money without even informing you, then it becomes our matter. So we have to make sure that SARS is following the process properly, and they are doing things correctly as it is determined, by the Tax Administration Act. And we also lastly other matters that we're dealing with is systemic issues. If you go on our website, we have highlighted what are the common complaints that are affecting the majority of taxpayers. We have highlighted them there. One of them being, SARS not being able to pay refunds on time. And once it is there on the, your complaint that you are aware of, and it is articulated on the, on our website as systemic, you can come directly to us. You don't even have to go back to SARS and request, for them their intervention. So ideally, that is the service that we offer, and we are assisting, quite a lot of taxpayers, even businesses, with the challenges that they have with SARS. And we are also calling on people to say, come to us. If you want to take your matter to court, you are most welcome to do that, because you have the right to do that. But try us first and see if we can help you, because we have legal minds here that are looking into this particular aspect, and we should be able, to help you or be in a better position to even help you, because we do engage with SARS on a regular basis.
Thank you very much, Russel, for taking the time to speak to us today. So also, are there any final last-minute filters out there that you can also give words of encouragement or advice, what people need to take in account? And also, when we do speak about the pay-as-you-earn bracket, is there a certain calculator that individuals can actually go on to see the accurate amount that you're supposed to be paying when it comes to that pay as you earn?
I think from our side, we are encouraging everybody who is a taxpayer to make an effort to know information about. I know tax is a very challenging matter, in terms of numbers and so on, to many people, because we do get people complaining about that. But we are able to give you guidance, if you approach us, and on anything that you do not understand. But most importantly, it's what I've indicated earlier as well. If SARS is communicating to you, please do not sit and relax and do nothing. And we have seen that as a challenge. If you want to communicate, if they communicate with you with that big amount that you are supposed to pay, remember, you also have an alternative to come to us and say, look, they want this. We are able to guide you through the process. And even if you go to them as well. In fact, going to them directly, it's actually what we're encouraging, because they will be able to, look at your matter and engage with you and assist you, for you to be able to settle whatever amount that is there. Do not keep quiet. If your accounts are changed all of a sudden on your profile, please check who's changing them, because there might be unscrupulous people out there gaining access to your system. So you can reach us, the Office of the Tax Ombud on 0800 662 837, and also you go to our website www.taxombud.gov.za. You can reach us there. We are active on all, most of the social media platforms, on X, on Facebook, as well as LinkedIn and all other social platforms. And we are sharing quite a lot of information now and then, to be able to encourage people to know better about their tax, because taxpayers' rights matter.
Thank you so much, Russel, for informing us about all of that. And thank you for your services as well. This is so important for people to know and understand. But yes, that closes up our interview. It was great speaking with you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.
Have a good day.